right now, for the purpose of the camera, let's get to meet you now.
My name is Hilda Dokubo. I'm an actor, activist, talent scout, talent coach, and a performance evaluator.
We would love to know, in the creative world, where you're coming from, where you are now, and where you are going.
Long journey, a journey that started from when I was age 7 as a kid presenter on radio, from radio to stage to television and then to film. It's been a long work of hard work and discipline. Let me start by saying talent is not enough because it's everywhere. What is missing is talented people allowing the talent to go through training and discipline. That's what's lacking, because a lot of times people think that the minute they say you are talented, there's nothing special in being talented. Everyone is talented. In one way or the other, you are either a one gift person or you're a 5 talents person. So whichever way you need the discipline to back it up. So I'll call it a long walk through discipline and training and mentorship and listening. Obedience is a key requirement for this work, and being able to do that. And then adaptation, knowing what's new, what you need to add, and retraining and training yourself, learning, unlearning, and relearning the key things that you need for this industry. You really cannot say, I'll get all of it by talent. No. After talent, you get training. After training, you get discipline. After discipline, you get building relationships. Building relationships with people that you work with equipment, with money. You have to build that relationship with building your own community of people who like you, and you must continue to recreate you. You can't stay the same way throughout. You have to keep growing. You are like a tree planted by the streams of water. You will not continue to be a seed. You will become a fruit and you will carry a seed. So it's really a long journey. When we were growing up, they used to say to us, the key to success is hard work. But I'm here to say to you that in my industry, it is not just hard work, it is also consistency. Consistency, discipline, and integrity. Let people know they can trust you and that you take your work seriously. It's a lot of investments in the creative economy. We're not a small income industry. We are a capital intensive industry. And when people put that amount of money down, including people and equipment, you better be good at what you do. So I'm coming from a child not knowing where she's going and then getting clear vision of what she wants to become in life, aiming for it, getting it, and saying, you know what, I can share these experiences and knowledge that I have gained, including certificates and everything. I can share its value with the next generation, with even my generation, with people who are crossing over from one industry into the creative industry. I can share all of this, and that's how I set up a center of creative arts and education, so that people can learn some of these things. Because if you have the talent and you don't have the training to back and consolidate the talent, you might run into trouble at some level. So you need that. And so today I'm at that point in my life where I scout talents. I go out there and I look for them and I work with them. Not help. I don't help anybody. I work with them. I work with them to gain experience, gain discipline, gain building relationships. And then sometimes in the course of doing that, direct them to what they should actually be doing. Because a lot of times people think that the most important people within the creative space, especially in performance-based creative space, are the actors, the musicians, the dancers. The truth is, a lot of times the people who make the real money and who make things happen, you hardly see them. They're not there. They're not in front of the camera. They're always behind the camera. And so when people, struggle to all be in front of the camera, those of us who know what it's like to be in front and behind, we laugh. Just say, if only you know how much is off camera, you would rather be off camera than in front of the camera. But because we also live in a world where being in front helps you open the door, then when you get in, expertise can begin to speak, which is the route that some of us have used to the back end now instead of being right in front. But there are also younger people, which would bring me to my Gen Z community. I love them. Geez, I love those kids. I love them for a lot of reasons. For having the guts that we didn't have. But sometimes, in the course of thinking that you're courageous, you become insultive. And that's where we all need to draw the line. As a Gen Z, you have a lot of things that we didn't have opportunities of having. For instance, you have all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook. As an actor, I didn't see Instagram and Facebook. I had to do it the hard way, which is hardwares, CDs. In fact, we started with cassettes, VHS cassettes, and then to CD, to DVD, and that journey until today on the big screen. So for us, we didn't have a lot of platforms for expressions, but you do have, and it's so open to you. As long as you have data and you have a phone, you can do as, like whatever it is. So because you have that, you need to subject yourself to the discipline of getting training so that whatever you do right. You don't wumble and fumble. I know some people think they can wumble and fumble through it. Yeah, I hear you, but for how long? Because the minute you keep wumbling and you start making money, you don't want discipline anymore. You think, oh, I did it without discipline, so why do I need discipline? Which is what brings us to the unruly behavior that some of them do put up. Some of them know that, okay, I have to be level-headed to move. I have to be disciplined. I have to be respectful. But a few more don't. They lack all of that. And, whenever I have to look into why, I say to myself, growing up as a little teenager, for me to find the meaning of a word, I have to first spell that word, then start with the dictionary. And if the word was a D starting word, for instance, I have to go from A to D. And before I get to D, E, D, F, whatever is the spelling of the word, whether I liked it or not, I would have learned a few other words. So these things helped us build patience. But now, if you say a word to a Gen Z, you might still be talking and Gen Z is pointing AI or Google and getting the spelling, the meaning, synonyms, antonyms, everything. So there's no struggle. It's too much information at the same time at their beck and call. And, some of these things don't help you build character. You need things to help you. And I've used something as simple as a word to describe this. So if we go deeper into more tasking responsibilities, you see why sometimes you ask them to do a few things and you hear, oh, you're disturbing my mental health. And I'm like, who is this? What do you know about mental health? But then looking at where they're also coming from, you would cut them some slack. So this is my message to a Gen Z. If you truly, truly, truly want to be within the creative economy, the first thing you should do is try and understand the economy, try and understand the business, try and get a good grasp of who are in the business. Don't just focus on the people that you are seeing right away. Focus on, as my mother would say, don't put your standard at something that is below A. No, don't do that. Put your standard at A star, which means above A, so that no matter what happens, you're aiming for the highest. So if you fall somewhere in the middle, you can climb from there. But if you place your standard at middle, you're most likely going to fall on the ground, and you don't want that. So find people who have achieved. And you see, achievement also is not just money, because when you go on social media and you see what the younger generation is paying attention and considering as success, you see why they also, let me not generalize this, some of them lack character, because for them wealth is money, naira and kobo. They rule out that wealth is human resource. So your relationship with people is wealth. Your state of health and mind, the state of your mind and your body, is wealth. If you don't have sound mind and can't reason properly, you can't make healthy decisions. It means you are poor no matter how much you have. Because you have money, you don't have the character to match the money, you are poor. Okay, so a whole lot of young people need to understand that wealth is not just about money. And that I support you to achieve something is not that I gave you money. Sometimes what your mentor or your coach gives to you is priceless. Priceless, absolutely priceless. If you had to buy some of those manuscripts in other parts of this world, you will be paying through your eye. But they give it to you free. They give you years of experience, 20, 30, 40 years of experience, free of charge. If some of us shared how much it cost us to get the experience that we share with you in free classes, you'll be more grateful than you are right now. Because, we didn't have people sharing with us. We were our own guinea pigs. We made our mistakes, we corrected our mistakes, we went on. You're not even giving yourself an opportunity to try. You're instead sitting back and looking for who to blame. And yet you have everything to succeed. And the only thing standing between you and success is your state of mind, in which case you are sitting back and trying to blame everybody or trying to rush everything. You're totally impatient. You don't want to work hard and earn the money. You think that I can make the money right here and now. XYZ person makes XYZ millions performing for 1 hour. It's only because you're gauging this from the day you started seeing the person. You're not gauging how long it took the person to get to where you met the person. So I think that my Gen Z people should look for people who are honest enough to share their story of how they got to the glory that they're seeing. That way you'll appreciate yourself more. That way you'll be willing to work harder. That way you'll understand that for every single star that you see, over 1,000 people got a no for an answer. Over 1,000. And learn also, as somebody who wants to be in the creative industry, to come in through the front door. There's one front door into the creative economy. If you're going to be within the performing art, your entry is called an audition. Learn to use an audition. Stop looking for somebody to connect you to somebody who will connect you to somebody who will connect you. You're just stressing. Because in truth, what would make the people love you is not in who connected you. It's between you and the audience, not even all the people in between. The audience will choose who they want to respond positively to. And truly, we all do not even know what it is they will respond positively to. So we're all working. So just get working. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop being in a hurry. When you start, just know that it's seed time and harvest. Not seed time and harvest time. It's seed time and harvest. So when you sow the seed of creativity, you have to wait the time of gestation before the harvest. So don't be in a hurry. Just know that the world loves you. If you're willing to work with them, they're willing to appreciate you. Thank you.
Wow, fantastic. You said a lot. Hilda, what should we expect from you next?
Okay, as you already know, I'm already in the business of scouting. I'm in the business of scouting and training. So what to expect from me is that I'm going to keep doing my own personal work for myself, which is continuing my performances and my training and research. But for humanity, I'm going to keep scouting, and the more people I find, the more I market. Because when I find them and train them, they have to get in the industry. So I need to also market them. Yes, so we're setting up things, we're setting up platforms that we're going to use to manage these people, because they need to understand that it's not just the art, it's also the business end of it. So it's showbiz, okay? The business that you have to show working to do. So they need to understand that there are different elements that comes together to make you who you want to become. So there's a legal element, there's a managerial element, there's a financial management element, there is the branding element to it. So we need to bring all of this under one house so that the few that we are able to put together can stand as the example for others. You don't keep talking about a thing if you can't show what it looks like. So you look at Easy, and I say to myself, my work as a mentor can be put to test, because I have been able to raise somebody who's been raising people himself. And so we're going to keep raising people like him. And he's not alone, by the way. We've raised quite a lot of people, and they're all doing very well in their different businesses. And I'm grateful to God that I allowed him to use me, as young people would say. I allowed God to work, using me as his messenger.
Wow, fantastic. Thank God for your life, and thank you for doing that. Then, in just 2 minutes, the government, the Nigerian government, and the creative industry. What's your take?
I'll tell you what, I think that the Nigerian government still does not understand the creative economy. I think that they're trying to understand it, but I also think that they're trying to understand it the wrong way. They're looking at a few people that they think, oh, this is the landmark for success. You know, if you are within the academia, they will tell you that for you to do a research, you have to identify a gap. You have to identify a problem. It is the response to that problem that leads you to doing a study on that problem. When government wants to invest in a thing, they fail to know that the first thing they need to do is identify what's missing. They think it's about looking at what has been achieved or who was able to achieve what. Some of us achieve these things because the people who know how to break barriers, right? So they break these barriers. Does not mean that that barrier has gone away. It does not mean that. It means that that thing is still there. That person or people may have just been able to take a little bit, because the way the creative economy is, everything is plugged to something. So let me give you an example of it. I'm a storyteller, right? So I tell the story, but I need a writer to write the dialogues, right? And I need a screenplay person to do the screenplay for me. Then I need somebody to develop all of that, right? Then I need the cinematographer and the production designer to sit with me. So it's like a community of experts at work. I think that the government should decide where they want to meet the industry. Do you want to meet the industry in the area of creativity, which I think they don't have the capacity for? Where they should actually be looking at is policy. What within the policy space are they missing out? I'll give you some of the problems. The creative economy creates job for the Nigerian government. Job that the Nigerian government has not been able to create for her citizens. The creative economy creates that. What incentive are they giving to the creative artists? What? No tax incentives. Rather, they're double taxing the industry. Some people get to pay taxes, like when you get a job from a studio or from any of the cable stations or any of those networks, they take your tax at point of payment. You never get your money fully paid because they will do tax deduction. Then what is paid to you, you have to also pay taxes. And now we hear whatever gets to the bank, they will also. So the creative economy alone, people within the creative space alone will be triple charged. Does that make sense? For a group of people who create jobs for others? Now, when you deduct taxes for civil servants, they get it back as gratuity or pension when they leave service. When will ours come back to us? Because we don't leave service. You can be 100 and you can still talk and work, and there is a role for 100-year-olds. You can still get employed. So when are we getting our money back?
The government keeps saying, they give loans to the creative industry.
To who?
Low interest loans. They do this, they do
Double-digit interest. Does it even make any sense? How many people are collecting it? That's what they should check. Who is collecting a double-digit interest from anybody for something that you're not sure how it's going to go? That's why nobody is taking their double digits from them, because it does not make sense. What I'm holding in my hand has the capacity to give us 1,000% return on investment. Same way it has a capacity of giving us 0 return on investment. You don't want to take any risk with me. You want me to bear all the risk, but you want the benefit from it. Does it even make any sense? So government needs to look at her policy. They should forget us and our productions. We do our productions. After all, when we started the creative industry, especially of Nigerian Nollywood and all of that, nobody knew we were going to get this big. It was 100% created by us, right? And consumed by Nigerians. And we made all that we made. Today, we're second largest in the world in terms of number of productions made, but they haven't shown us anybody else who is doing any better films. So whatever it is their problem. But I think that where the Nigerian government needs to meet the creative economy is in policy. You cannot set policies that are harmful to us and you say you are encouraging the economy because you have kept a loan somewhere that nobody is collecting. No, it makes no sense. There's piracy, right? What are you doing about that? Okay, let's say because now products can actually get to anybody anywhere, because people are beginning to produce and put online anyways, and all of that. Well, what are you doing? What's the policy that protects the creative? They should show us. They should show us, because it's not there. So if you people keep writing things that like, you can't use a blanket policy for the filmmaker as the music person. They're two different ecosystems, right? So they need to understand the industry. I think that's what they need to do. They need to understand the industry, and they need to come up with policies that makes for ease of doing business within the creative space.
Fantastic. I get that. They need to understand the industry. That means the government needs to put the right people that understand the industry in the ministries.
Yeah.
For example, the Ministry of Culture and Tourism supposed to be headed by someone who knows quite very well about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hilda.
Yes.
It's been a long one.
Thank you.
Your wealth of experience, we really appreciate that. We want you to endorse Rivet TV.
Rivet
TV.
Hello everyone, my name is Hilda Dokubo and this is Rivet TV. If you want to enjoy your entertainment time, stay here.